You know how I spend a lot of time on public transport on my own? And you know how when I'm on my own, I just think about random shit and come up with like really weird ideas? That's just who I am as a person.
I didn't know you spent a lot of time on public transport. I always thought you were a driving person.
No, I'm on the train every day for like an hour there and an hour back. I do think occasionally, I know.
Oh, okay.
So, I have been pondering this question for about a week.
Yeah,
and I
right.
guess haven't had the platform to share it.
Wait, you're only telling me now?
Yes.
You normally tell me things immediately.
Inevitably, there will be like a zombie apocalypse, yeah?
Of some variety.
Of some variety, obviously. And at that point, the world is going to like go all bananas. Shit will hit the fan. A zombie's coming at you, and you're in a supermarket. What is the most effective weapon in the fruit and veggie section to kill a zombie?
Hold on. define the parameters. I've had this discussion many times, especially when it comes to zombie apocalypses. First off, what kind of zombies are we dealing with here? Are they Walking Dead zombies?
Walking Dead zombies.
So they're kind of slow movers, but in packs they're good.
Yes.
Right? Because we got to define the zombie
parameters.
No.
I agree.
All
so
right.
Walking Dead zombies.
So Walking Dead zombie,
Yep.
one zombie is coming at me in this supermarket.
Yes.
I could essentially not even pick up a fruit and veg and just use my hands.
But there's a pack outside.
So there's a pack outside. So I want to take out this zombie silently.
If you don't kill this zombie, you will die. Like that sort of scenario.
No, I'm respecting this parameter here. All right, so just established, we got Walking Dead, slow movers by individual standards, in packs, almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
Okay? Best weapon in the fruit and veg aisle? I got to take him out silently. That's how I'm imagining this. Can you tell me there's a pack outside? Is it just me in this supermarket?
Yeah.
Now, is it a well-stocked supermarket with good fruit and veg?
Yes.
Is it the extent of all fruit and veg in the history of the world?
Sure.
Pineapple.
I respect that choice.
Pineapple, side of their head. Bang. Or an old cucumber.
No, I'd go with a coconut.
Coconut just as good.
Better power to weight ratio.
Yeah, I agree with your pick, but I choose pineapple for that reason. Not as sturdy.
Plus comedic effect. Like, come on.
Yeah,
it's funny.
no,
It's funny.
yeah.
Hitting something over the head with a coconut. Like,
Yeah, see,
you're kind of
I was going to
expecting
go coconut or like...
Last time you walked down Coles, did you see a full coconut there?
Yes.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but you said all fruit in the world. Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. I agree with
didn't-
that. But now,
See, I would throw a durian.
okay.
Is that really going to make it? It's spiky.
Because
yeah.
one, it's spiky. Two, once it opens, it stinks. Mask my scent so I can run away.
Are you telling me that the
yeah.
fucking zombies picks up that scent and just goes,
That's
oh,
how
I'm
zombies go. Like zombies
Zombies
smell humans. So it's for the rest of the pack so I can run away.
All right, now to make it a little bit more fun, do we want to like throw in like maybe the Last of Us kind of zombie then?
Ooh.
Right, like maybe like
a clicker.
Yeah, a clicker, someone that can
Ooh.
only pick up sound.
Oh, that'd be good.
Now you want to hit him silently then, or you got to get him from a distance. So if you get him from the distance, I respect coconut.
I respect coconut.
I respect coconut. I'd actually, you know what?
No, see, with a clicker, I change my fruit. I change it to something that's like that you can squelch, but squelch quietly and still make a noise when you throw it.
I was thinking exactly.
You wouldn't
distraction.
You
I
don't
would
kill
think
the
distraction
thing.
at that point.
Yeah. So what I would get then is a tomato, like a soft, like a, and especially because this is the apocalypse, so that fruit's a little bit ripe at this point. So it's a bit softer than it should be. So you only need to you know that thing in Spain where they throw tomatoes at each other.
Yeah.
So the way you do it is you actually crush the tomato a bit in your hand before you throw it. With a slightly ripe tomato, that's going to be way easier to do, so it'll be quiet. So you'll be able to just crush it just a little bit, and then you piff it like at the wall in the opposite direction of where you want to go, right? Don't piff it at the exit door you want to run out of,
thing,
right? Because at that point, you fucking deserve to die.
No, yeah, 100%.
Right? That's just Darwinism at its finest. And so you piff it away, and the clicker goes, "The fuck's going on over there?" And goes over and has a wee sniff, and it goes, "Oh, it smells a bit like a tomato." But humans tend to smell like tomatoes sometimes, so that's a thing.
I mean, they're squishy and red.
Yeah, they're squishy and red, so that's a thing. And meanwhile, you're just fucking tiptoeing out the door, and you're good at that point.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. That was going to be my approach. Going to go with all right, I need to find something that makes a lot of sound on impact.
Yeah,
right, but I respect the squishiness.
But Walking Dead zombies have eyes, and they can see you, and they're like, human is food, and you're like, well, now you got to die.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like it's a really big question with so much scope, and I'm like, how come I've never seen anyone discuss this before ever?
Who dies first of everyone of heart effect in a zombie apocalypse?
Michael.
Me.
Michael dies first. I agree. Michael dies first. Michael dies first purely because I kill him first.
That's where I
The
was going
zombies
with
don't
that.
get Michael. I get Michael.
That's where I was
I
going
get
with
Michael
that.
because I'm pretty sure on day one when we've all amassed, all right, because I guess we just assume that we're all going to squat up. Michael has said something to me, and I've just gone, I'm not dealing with weeks excess of this bullshit, Michael. The laws of the universe are out the window. I'm taking you out now.
Oh,
all
God.
right? And then it's me and Michael. But then I'm weak at that point, which is why I don't end up surviving at the end. But
Oh,
why
you're
I-
gonna
but why
do
I
your
sa-
heroic self-sacrifice.
But why I
shit.
self-sacrificed to make sure that you survive, JJ. JJ and I have had this discussion emphatically.
No.
I firmly believe in any zombie apocalypse, my end of my narrative comes via a self-sacrifice so that the survivor can get away.
That's not just a zombie apocalypse thing. You insisted
any
I
situation, though.
I would insist on that in any scenario.
you insisted I write that into a tabletop campaign we were doing once.
Yes.
Right.
I am but it's not like the self-sacrificial lamb at the start of the movie. I'm that guy who manages to get through like the third act, but then like we're trapped in a building and like the helicopter's there, right? And only like one person can reach the rope if they get on my shoulders. Like that's the kind of self-sacrifice I'm talking here, right? Like where I put JJ on my shoulders, I'm like, go JJ, the fate of the universe depends on you. And she climbs up and she's like, no, reach for my hand. 2 people can hold on to this, right? They
Like
end
a
up
Titanic
like
situation.
end of Titanic, where Rose is on the fucking thing, and it's like obviously
There
Jack
is
could get on there
room.
too.
There's room.
Right, there's room here, and JJ's like, grab my hand, all right, I'll pull you up to the helicopter. I'm like, no,
Well,
no.
to be
fuck
fair,
off.
at that point, we both know that I would not be able to pull you up because I am not very
No,
strong.
but then one of the pilots comes over and goes, no, now that we're both going to do it, you can definitely come up. I'm just like, no, chuck me down the machine gun. I'll fucking handle it from here. They throw me down the rocket launcher. The helicopter flies off, and then the camera pans out, and it's just me clocking it. Right, and it ends there.
Were you just like masturbating furiously at the end of Halo Reach?
Yes, that was my ultimate narrative fantasy. And when I got to that fucking conclusion, I was like, yes, this is exactly where I needed to be. Oh, but then like that's how my story ends. I am the final self-sacrifice to the main protagonist can get away. And just like that.
And with that, welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a beer and a chat into a tax write-off. I'm your host, John McLeish. Joining me, as always, is the regular David Yang. David, welcome.
Good moment.
And coming back finally from your fucking holidays gallivanting around the fucking universe, half dead, but going, you know what, I'm going to die, so I'm going to go to the snow. That's the cure.
I have the flu.
JJ.
2 days later, in the snow.
Yeah. Welcome back.
I didn't come on this podcast to be personally attacked.
No,
I
you
can.
We've been shooting on you for weeks.
I know.
Weeks,
But it's
right?
okay.
Welcome back, JJ.
can
You've
have
come
you.
on the podcast to attack us.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Right, because we've said some stupid shit in your
Yeah.
demise.
Yeah,
You know, by the way, I was just wondering, like, what's your cure for a broken leg? Is it a triathlon, or are you more of like a half marathon kind of gal?
I personally will go for the 3/4 marathon and then
Yeah,
finish
right.
it off with a swim approach.
Yeah, right. Sweet.
John and I just fist bumped. That was fucking excellent highbrow sledge right there. Fucking respect.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
All right, JJ. So you obviously weren't here a couple of weeks ago when we did the infamous Club Rawhide episode.
I am a big fan of that episode.
Oh,
I was
excellent
pissing
episode.
myself laughing and driving my way home. It was great.
Now that we have you here, and for all the fans listening at home, put us in our place. Bras are stupid. Bras are designed stupidly, and I don't understand how you can. And I still never will. Right? You can explain it all podcasts, but I won't understand it. How you can go from a 32C and can also wear a 30D or some shit like that.
Well,
like
one-
what is this sister sizing bullshit? I don't have sister sized jocks.
That's because bra sizes tend to change depending on if it's lingerie or a regular ass bra.
That's what I said to you, motherfucker.
But a girl never tends to be sort of any sort of like one size below. It's like any range there, but it depends on the padding in the bra strap type, and also like how far the bra goes down your chest.
Oh my god, I didn't even know there was a down the chest. I
Because
thought,
like, you know how you get some lacy laundry and it goes to like midriff, like around the ribs?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not.
That counts as the waist. So that's where it needs to go.
Okay, so the numbers is the circumference.
The numbers are like I am, say I'm a 12. Yeah.
Are you saying that?
No.
Oh, okay.
So like if I'm a 12, that means I measure up a 12 around my waist.
Yeah, but not including the depth of.
12 is like from here around below the cups.
Yeah, that's
below
what I'm
the
getting at.
cups.
So the
is
cup is the volume.
Yes.
Of the breast. Okay.
Yeah.
I got an update on that, by the way. So apparently when we were saying like 32C, 34D stuff, that's the American system.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we didn't have
so-
32s over here.
Yeah. So my
What the fuck?
yeah.
We have like 8 to like 24. Like we don't.
It's-
If you're 32, that's ridiculous.
You're a huge unit.
You're a huge.
Oh,
unit.
I was just using it as like
no. That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like this is the update, right? Because you were like, is there a better system? And I think the Australians use a better system.
We do.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So this is coming from my sister, whom is a pretty good bra expert. All right. She's a frequent contributor to ABraThatFits. Right, which is like the subreddit for if you want to get a
It's
good
great.
fitting bra,
I
you
love
go
it.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
It's a
she
great
actually
subreddit.
she is like such a hardcore contributor. She doesn't even subscribe to the sub anymore. She's like, you've got nothing more to teach me now. Right, and so for the number, not for the cup letter, but for the number, right? It's based on dress size. Is how they do it. So
Yeah.
and even though dress sizes change between shops, right? Let's say you walk into Cotton On. I can't remember if Cotton On sells bras or not, but for argument's sake, let's say, okay, so they do. So you walk into Cotton On, right? And you know that you're a size 10 dress, right? Then you know that in Cotton On, you're also a size 10 bra, right? And then what you're figuring out at that point is your cup size, right?
And your cup size tends to not change.
No, that seems to be
You know
pretty
what?
universal.
I rate that system.
And you were like, when you said, someone fitting a C cup can also go into a D cup, that's not based on like comfort or anything like that. It's based on like, if you want to say have like a push-up bra type effect,
Yeah, it's
but you don't
different.
want to buy a push-up bra because that costs extra money.
You get
right?
the cup size bigger.
You get the cup size bigger, right? And then that kind of like pushes everything up while also lifting and separating, right? So like that's how that works.
That's why
You know what?
the bra system is you think it's complicated. It's really not. I know I'm in a dress, I'm either a size 10 or a size 12. So my bra is either a size 10 or a size 12. Doesn't change. Hasn't changed in years.
Put me in my fucking
It
place.
just depends on shop at that point. Like
Yeah,
it's how
like
Cotton
bras,
On
like-
measures
and like
things and whatever.
When I
So
go
if I
to
want to go to
bras,
bra and things,
Yeah.
which I don't
Yeah.
imagine sells dresses,
no,
where it's
I don't know.
kinda just a
I genuinely
bra
don't
shop.
know.
no, but like in that shop,
I
it's
mean, I'm not going to pretend like I fucking
that
know.
shop is great for the fact that one, there's always someone that'll measure you, and also because there's so many different types of bras in there, you can sort of like you may be different size in lingerie than you are in t-shirt bras, but they'll always bring you the size of bra that's always the same.
So was I completely wrong on that episode when I said that lingerie comes in small, medium, large, and that? It still
Yes.
comes in. Okay, so
It comes in sizes.
All right, well, I'm a fucking idiot.
It comes in sizes.
Look, I'm not against being put in my place. No, yeah,
I'm like small, medium, large is like works for t-shirts.
Now, how do you feel about the male lingerie? Now that we have you on to discuss, we're just
True.
going to do like a quick recap of all the shit banter you've missed.
Yeah, I know. I am a
Do
fan.
you understand where I'm coming from?
I
though,
do.
with the
I
male
really
lingerie?
liked the style that you guys decided on, the briefs.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Yeah.
great.
It's got to
But
be
like-
a
but-
tight hugging. But what I'm
Yeah.
getting at with the male lingerie is I'm sick of the female market having this goddamn lock on like these wide range of fabrics.
Yeah.
Right? I want different fabrics with my jockwear.
See, I was thinking of like do you know how you can buy those sort of like the briefs, but they're like bright, they're gold.
Yeah.
Like that sort of fabric. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was imagining
Like a
as one
satin?
arm. Yeah, like one arm of that mangerie.
Yeah, for sure.
And then having another
Definitely.
type of, and like having sort of that style
You
but
could
different
do
colors.
so much. You add
Yeah.
bandelettes in, right? Maybe a little bit of a lacy fit. I'm not against maybe.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
obviously
Like,
really tight
I
hugging.
want to be able to wear lacy underwear and still feel masculine.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm on board with the mangerie idea.
There's a fucking market there. like, goddamn right.
I will admit that when I first heard the discussion, like the first time it was brought up, I was like a little bit on the fence, but you guys convinced me. I'm on board with mangerie.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I don't think that was the thing I had to, because when I asked my sister about bras, because like, by the way, I got this question, right? And I was trying to explain the concept of mangerie, and she just looked at me just like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I
mean, look, it's not for
I don't,
everyone,
I don't feel
right?
like she was sold on the concept.
I think also mangerie would like the effectiveness of how it looks would depend on who was wearing it.
Yeah.
as
But
well.
at the end of the day, like 'cause
not all girls can pull off lingerie.
exactly,
And
Like,
that's usually a personal choice.
Yeah.
But I feel like the mangerie will only work if someone who's wearing it for the first time, you got to pick the right person to launch that with.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
Okay, this will be the perfect segue into the next discussion point. Do you think the lingerie chooses the girl? / mangerie chooses the man. Like, there's such a wide array of like different kinds of lingerie, where it's almost at a point where like every girl have a different taste.
Well, it's like
right?
yeah. Well, pretty much. It's like when I go shopping, it's like I really like that dress, but that dress doesn't like me.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, yeah, I agree.
But then something at the corner of your peripheral catches your eye, and you're almost
like, hey, I might not go for this usually, but I'll try it on. Oh my god, it looks amazing. Like that sort of thing.
It chose
yeah.
you. It was the Mjolnir
It's
of
like
the dress.
it's
world,
like the
right?
the wand chooses the wizard. It's the
Yes.
lingerie chooses
Yeah.
the woman.
Respect on the Harry Potter.
But then my question is like, what woman is looking at the $2 million diamond-studded bra from Victoria's Secret and is like, that is for me?
it's the kind of woman that likes to spend $2 million.
I was on a bra.
Type
yeah.
of woman who
So
goes
it's
to
not
Victoria's
about the fucking
Secret. Yeah.
look of it at that
Yeah.
point.
It's not about.
It's about the flex of, hey man, ooh, you're about to rip off a $2
No,
million
no,
bra,
it's the flex of I can shop at Victoria's Secret on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate flex.
Yeah,
If
true.
a dude sees that a girl is wearing Victoria's Secret, they're like, okay, they can do that all the time.
But I feel like it's a very, very small number of women who can afford to buy a $2 million
Oh my
bra.
god. Do we
right?
start our mangerie line and just call it Victor's Secret?
Yo.
Yo.
Anyone listening to this
Yo,
podcast
yeah.
right now, I have official trademark on it. Official
I
trademark.
love it. Done.
Victor's Secret.
Victor's Secret. Oh my god. And then because then when you're around the pub with the boys, you can just say, "Oh, you want to go down to Vic's?" And everybody's like, "Fuck yeah, let's
Fuck
go down to
yeah.
Vic's."
Yeah, boys.
Yeah, boys, get around it, right? And
That is my dream, is to like have like a Victor's Secret like brick and mortar shop, and then it's just the lads coming in, and
Yeah.
they come up to like the staff, who I imagine is also a dude, and just go, "Man, I got my anniversary with my missus tonight, and I'm trying to pick out some."
See, no, I'm really looking forward to that interaction between the girlfriend walking in being like, I'm trying to get my man some mangerie. Can you help me? Can you walk me through the styles?
Yeah, sure. What's his penis size? Oh, and then she's like holding her hand out
It's like
about
this.
much?
It's like,
how much of a handful is the junk?
Yeah, about that much.
I mean, like, I was like, I've got small hands, but it usually like tends to fit in there. Like, I'm just really looking forward to being on a fly on the wall in that first discussion, and that sales rep is gonna fucking love it.
Oh my god. Okay. That's locked in. That's locked in.
my
I've got
God.
official trademark on it. Victor's Secret, the mangerie.
Yeah.
Now, perfect segue. I was having a discussion a couple of weeks ago with Locke, all right? And we got to the discussion of talking about colognes. right?
Okay, yeah.
There's such a wide array of colognes and sprays
There really is.
and all that kind of stuff. So much so that I argue that the man doesn't choose the cologne chooses the man. All right? Because one, we got to factor in our own subjective sense, but at the same time, I argue that we're also factoring in like our psychological understanding of pheromones too.
Yeah, I was going to
right?
say, when it comes to cologne, from a female perspective, it's kind of like it will smell different. So, like, if you're wearing a cologne, it'll smell different to me than it does for you.
Yeah.
So you got to factor that in as well.
Because
So
it's the pheromones, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's an actual thing.
it's
yeah.
a legitimate thing. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. So, like, I wear Tom Ford Noir, right? Straight up, anyone who's ever smelled it and they go, wow, David smells really good. Well, that's what I wear, all right? I can't pull off, like, a Beckham, for example. I just don't
But
feel
David
like that's
Beckham
me.
cologne stinks really bad.
Yeah?
It's not a very good cologne, in my opinion.
Yeah, you smell it and you're like, what does Victoria Beckham like see in you?
What?
Just,
Yeah, like-
you've got to be
Is
fucking
this what,
amazing in
is this what
the
he
sack.
smells like?
Yeah.
Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
also
but that's also how you know that guy's packing some serious heat, like in the briefs
Oh,
department.
100%.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If anyone's gonna model my line of Victor's Secret, it's gonna be David Beckham, right? He can get like Calvin Klein can let him go for about 5
No,
minutes, right?
so I disagree. I'd want Jason Statham.
Oh, that full Jason Statham.
Yeah,
Yes,
but I'd
please.
want him.
I'd actually want The Rock.
No.
No,
fucking
no,
right.
no, 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 no,
you don't
no,
want The
no,
Rock.
no, no. It needs to be someone who
Slender.
is famous but also slender for
Yep.
that first rollout.
Yeah.
Because then when you build a new brand or a new line, then you pull in someone else like The Rock to show that it fits different body shapes.
Exactly, right?
That's why,
And-
yeah,
yeah,
that's why
you're right.
Dead set.
that's how marketing 101 when
Yeah.
it comes to clothes.
And here's
100%
the other thing, right? The reason why I'd get Jason Statham as well, right, is because he used to before he was an actor, he was an Olympic diver, right? Man's already comfortable walking around in public in his underwear.
I mean,
right?
so's fucking Mark Wahlberg. Like, are we
You
gonna
know.
get Mark Wahlberg in as well?
No,
Like-
Mark Wahlberg's too short.
Yeah. No,
I mean, are we looking at his height when I'm
no, we
assessing
bring
his
in,
jockwear?
yeah, we bring
Yes.
Wahlberg in like when we bring in The Rock. You know what I mean? Like then we have that variety.
Jason Statham
Right.
is the
We got
launch.
Hayden Game
Jason-
cast coming in.
That's what I mean.
fucking modeling underwear for
Yeah,
us.
Jason Statham is like that's your launcher. right? Yeah.
I'm down with this idea.
Yeah, right. And by the way, and I wouldn't want him ripped either. I'm talking like back when he was an Olympic diver, like he was a svelte man. Like I'd want him back at that.
I reckon now
back
Jason
at that.
Statham's pretty good.
Yeah, now Jason Statham's a good-looking man, but I want ordinary. I want like kind of beefcake. Right, Statham.
Jason Statham to me is currently in the twilight of his fame. Right, he's still famous, obviously. He can get roles, but he's not at his peak. If I had to capitalize on peak, Tom Hiddleston. I reckon Tom Hiddleston would be able to rock some mangerie.
I think he would.
Yeah, I think he would.
Or, following the theme of Tom's, who I argue is actually...
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah,
dude. Tom Holland.
Yeah, no, I like that choice more.
But that's only if we could get him away from promoting Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, good moment.
Right, we got to try and pull him off of that, and that's some Square Enix money.
The current debate I'm having at the moment is if you had to pick a person, a male in this particular case, that is almost objectively the most attractive person in anyone's eyes, I argue it's Tom Holland. I argue it's got to be Tom Holland. Tom Holland fits that, like, you look at him and anyone looks at him and goes, yeah, he's attractive, right? They're not being like, oh, he's so hot, but they're not sitting there going, oh, he's so ugly. No matter what, I think everyone...
He's also still relatively young.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, he's like 22, 23. Yeah. Like, he's my age.
I think everyone looks at Tom Holland and goes, yeah, I see it. Right? Whereas someone like then there's obviously either ends of the spectrum where it's like, I'll just use The Rock, for example. People will be like, yeah, The Rock's hot. But there will also be a lot of people that go, nah, he's too big. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, he's too bold. Right? Whereas Tom Holland, I think he fits that perfect, like, one size fits all kind of guy. Right? Where he's like, he can fit any camp. He's not too big, he's not too small. He's got nice hair. Like, he just looks...
He also has a British accent.
And the British accent, too.
Yeah.
Right? He's almost unassuming, but in a good way. Huh?
I can see that.
Yeah. All right.
Like, you didn't have to convince me, but like, I agree.
I don't want to fuck Tom Holland though. Like I want to. I feel like I want to like wrap him in a blanket
that's
and
not
feed
the
him
aim.
soup.
It's like
That's not the point,
yeah, it's like
right?
is Tom Holland fundamentally attractive?
Yeah. He is a handsome young man for sure.
Yep, and
right.
Everyone.
But like you know, if it came down to like you know who do you want to fuck, I'd be like I'd be picking Daniel Day Kim over him any day of the week.
Oh yeah, no.
You got a bit of yellow fever, do you?
Well, Daniel Day Kim's really attractive.
I'm not saying he's not attractive. I'm just saying.
I've got Daniel Day Kim fever. Is what I've got.
Fair enough.
Right.
That's a fair call. I like that call.
Because like, what's the guy from Crazy Rich Asians, the male lead in that? I didn't see it. I wasn't seeing it with him.
He was too British.
I was looking at like he had a nice accent. I thought you've got a really nice voice. Like I'd like to get you in for some voiceover roles.
He's only halfy as well.
Right, but like I couldn't. I just pot calling the kettle black, mate.
Yeah, I wasn't saying I'm not halfy.
And I was just like I'm not seeing this as like the sexy man. You know what I mean?
As the sexy man.
Because that's what he was. He was supposed to be just he didn't really have a lot of character there. It was all
just
about everybody
the sexy
else.
Man.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I just wasn't seeing it. You know, with him. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen the movie, but I did.
You haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians?
I'm not watching it for the purpose. One, I don't really want to watch it. Two, if I watch, I never hear the end of it from you.
What do you mean from me?
Hey, watch the movie, right? It's all about me. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to deal with that shit.
Look, I'm not saying it's not about me. I'm just saying it's a great movie.
You just proved my point. Thank you.
Yeah.
And the fucking soundtrack is so good too. Such a good soundtrack. It's up there with Shrek 2 as one of the greatest movie soundtracks. I'm very vocal about Shrek 2 being one of the greatest movie
Shrek 2 soundtrack is only amazing because it's got Jennifer Saunders singing I Need a Hero. That is the peak of that movie. And fight me otherwise, but that is the peak of the Shrek franchise.
You are not going to throw hands with me on this, all right? Because Shrek 2 is the greatest movie soundtrack of all time.
Just because of Jennifer Saunders. No other reason.
Not even just that. Like, it is so well-rounded from start to finish, right? Like, changes... Right?
Oh yeah.
And then the fucking song they play when like Shrek's he's getting the fairy godmother's potion.
Oh yeah.
He's running away, right? I can't remember the fucking song off my but like that way it pieces together in that scene, so fucking good.
Yeah. Oh my god. But coming back to colognes.
Yes, cologne.
Because we got really distracted there. I don't know if I suppose it does choose the man. I mean, I wear Old Spice, but that's because like it was cheap, and then the back of it said if your grandfather hadn't worn it, you wouldn't exist. And I went, that's a fucking good argument.
That's a great
like
piece
you
of
made a really good
Old
argument
Spice
there.
Is like has amazing marketing around.
Yeah.
It
does.
Like
I
love it so much.
They really hit their stride when they got Terry Crews to do that.
100%.
Right.
Oh yeah, but they wouldn't have gotten Terry Crews if it weren't for the ad campaign
The guy
before
on
it,
the horse?
which launched it. Right. That's how you get the Crews.
Horse.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was an excellent ad.
Look down, look up, look at me. I'm not on a horse, right? I'm the man your man could smell like. Have you ever, like, I studied.
Is that the greatest ad of all time?
I wouldn't say it's the greatest ad of all time.
It's up there.
It's up there, though.
There's a discussion. Because I reckon the greatest ad of all time is the one that Chris Hemsworth did for fucking Foxtel, where it's him walking into his own home, chucking on his own movie, and it's just all about him. It's just like he looks in the mirror and goes, "Hey, Hemsy, how you going?" Right? When he's watching the movie, he quotes his own lines. So he sits there on the couch, laid back, and he's his own biggest fan. It's so fucking good.
See, I would argue that I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a British ad called Cats with Thumbs. And it's just like West Side Story, cats just going click to clicking. and there's like a British voiceover just being like, cats with thumbs. And it's advertising milk of all things. And it is the best ad I've ever seen in my entire life. I will put it over to the day that I die.
I don't know. I feel like
Fork on my fork.
And it also ends with jog on kitty. And it's just fucking incredible. I love it so much.
I feel like it really depends on the market though, because you know, like Iron Brew did a really good series of ads where they just straight up shit on the English, right? And it sold Iron Brew like you wouldn't believe. But no way would you put that on here in Australia because the jokes just wouldn't make sense, right? But at the same time, right? Like I feel like there are certain ads here that would run here and be really successful that just wouldn't work.
The Qantas ad.
Yeah.
I think the Advanced Australia Fair, but like
I still call Australia home.
I still call Australia home. That's got to be
I
Australia's greatest ad.
really don't like that ad.
Oh, it's because you're fucking British.
Oh, dude.
No, I like the song and I like the idea.
That should be our
I
anthem.
just don't like the ad.
My primary school teacher wanted that to be our anthem.
Dude, I'm still on that camp. I remember that. That was a big debate back then.
I want We Are Australian. That's a better song than We Still Call Australia Home.
What the fuck? Do you have any taste in music at all?
No, I like that song. I think
But
she's
better than We Still Call Australia Home.
I don't
Yes.
think it's number 2, but like I think
into cities.
yeah.
Fuck, it's such a good
I
banger.
don't like the song.
But like no, when I was in school choir, like I know that song because we had to sing it all the fucking time.
You would have been
because
an excellent baritone.
No. This is before my balls dropped, so I was like a pretty high voiced guy. Like I was like,
solid
I've been to cities and you know they never.
I'm trying to
closed
imagine
down
that,
from
and it's
New
hilarious.
York to Rome and all over London town. No matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call Australia home. Right?
He sounds like the gingerbread man from Shrek.
Yeah. Right. Just for the
Sounds like the gingerbread man.
No, but we had to do it properly. We had to say like I
Muffin
still
Man.
call Australia home. Like we had to do it like that.
Ooh.
But anyway, it'd make my principal cry every time we sang it. So we had to sing it all the fucking time. Right.
God.
So like I remember when the Qantas ad was on, I agree with you. I fucking hated it because it reminded me of school and like my principal was a bit of a shit. So like, you know, it reminded me of her and that wasn't a pleasant memory. But looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, it's a good tune. You know what I mean? Now that I've like recovered mentally from that traumatic experience.
Should be our anthem. You know what? Just quickly back onto the cologne discussion. I hate the process of buying cologne. I don't know if you've ever gone to like Chemist Warehouse or like any place that stocks
There
cologne.
are so many colognes.
Not
Like,
only-
what do you pick?
Not only are there so many colognes, but in order to buy a cologne, you need to obviously trial the cologne. Because how many people, unless you already own that cologne, you're just re-upping it, then you can go be like, oh, can I get that? Right? When it comes to buying cologne, you need to trial the cologne. Now, I've noticed when it comes to fucking Chemist Warehouse at goddamn least, it's a process of going in there, and if there's no staff filtering around that fucking like cologne section, you got to wait in line to get a staff to be like, hey, can I go trial some cologne? And then when they go over there, it's a process of unlocking the fucking gate that they have protecting it all, moving it aside, grabbing it, then relocking it. So what if I didn't like that cologne? Now I've got to bother her again. Hey, can I go look at that cologne there? Granted, now I'm walking in there and I really don't know what scent I want, right? So it's like, it's a genuine trial and error.
I bought cologne once as a present in my entire life in year 11. I haven't bought cologne since.
As in for someone else or
For,
for you?
for someone else.
Oh, Jesus Christ, okay.
But no, keep in mind though, I really do like the smell of cologne, like men's colognes, more than I like female perfumes.
I like the smell of female deodorant more than I like the smell of men's
I like
deodorant.
men's deodorant better.
Yeah. I would genuinely wear female deodorant more often. Actually,
Do
you know
it.
what? Fuck it. I'm totally going to.
Get like that Impulse body spray. Like,
Dude, Impulse is legit.
I like Impulse.
with the white can, but the pink like I don't know what the fucking flavor of it is, but like that is lit. That it just reminds me of like Urate. Like
That's what that reminds me of my sister because that's what she wore.
I just like Lynx deodorant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like only some of them. Like Kian has one that I really like that I just want to steal from him, but I can't.
Lynx is hit and miss, but it's like the go-to.
It is the go-to.
It's the everyman.
It smells good.
Africa is so overrated. Not the continent, the fucking can of spray.
I was gonna say the song is not overrated.
The song is brilliant. The continent is absolutely excellent, but the can of spray from Lynx,
is
too
no
big
bueno.
question.
By the way, did you know Xbox had a deodorant?
Yeah, they got paired with Lynx, didn't they?
Yeah. So
I walked past it in Coles the other day and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, is it in Coles? Because I've been looking for it at Woolworths like every
No,
day.
it's in Coles.
Can only imagine it smells like Doritos and Mountain Dew.
I sprayed it, and me and Kian are both like,
Doritos?
what is that meant to smell like? It just smells like deodorant.
Smells like neckbeard.
I've been trying to find it because I wanted to buy some for the podcast.
Oh, fucking what a meme that would be.
Right, that's what I mean. Like for the meme, I was gonna like wear it for the, and I was gonna buy the body wash for it too. So I was gonna go full on. I was gonna like rub my junk all up in that Xbox smell, right? You know, so
At that point, maybe just rub your junk against an actual Xbox and you get like a more authentic smell.
Yeah, just the back of the Xbox where it like heats up.
It's
and
like,
the
ooh.
dry heat comes out, just like that.
That's going to be a more authentic Xbox smell
Do you reckon
than
that's
that
the scent?
deodorant.
Because there is a genuine scent that happens when like behind like the console.
When you flick on a 360, that's a smell and a half.
yeah,
Like, that
I
has
mean
a
that's the
unique
smell of ozone. That's what ozone is. But like no, apparently it has hints of sandalwood. Is all I can tell you. Yeah. Right? Is what it is. The smell it has. Because I know a guy who works in marketing.
Of all the things they could have picked to put in the Xbox deodorant, why the fuck did they pick sandalwood of all things?
I don't know, dude. But
any wood in general, really.
I don't know. Apparently, but that's all I know of it. That's what I mean. I was gonna buy some for us to sniff and just be like, have a sauce of this.
And like there's a gimmick I do when I buy new games that I think I've told you, John.
Yeah.
But I like to do the sniff test.
Oh yeah.
This is my big thing.
I know
games.
this.
My big thing with games, because I don't know if you know the thing with Switch games. Apparently, you can lick the Switch game.
Oh yeah, no, I did it.
Something about I don't know, right?
I licked one of yours.
Yeah. I can't remember what the gimmick was of it.
It tastes super sour. It's
Super
like really,
sour?
really
Yeah.
bad.
So that means kids won't swallow them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my thing with every game that I buy, so cartridge games that come in like packets, right?
Yep.
Is I like to do the sniff test, right? I base a game, and my immediate assessment of a game comes from the sniff test. I'll open it up and I give it a rating out of 10, right? And that's like, if the game smells good, I'm in for a treat, right? I'm in for it. And I remember like GTA 5 smelled like a good 8 out of 10, right? And that game was.
So what did The Last of Us smell like?
That smelled pretty good too.
Yeah?
That smelled pretty good. I sniffed Days Gone not too long ago. That smelled like trash.
Okay.
Game was trash. My sniff test is undefeated, in my opinion.
Have you sniffed like Switch games, or is it purely just discs?
Purely just console ones so far.
Like just discs.
Yeah, like disc-based games. I'll sniff them, right? And it's like like Jason fucking like when I get a new game, it's always like he'll sit in and just be like, "You gonna do the sniff test?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." He'll watch and I'll be like, "Yeah, it's a good 7." Like, and then I'll shove it in. And I'll be like, that is how I immediately place my expectation for a game. My sniff test hasn't missed.
That's fair.
Hasn't missed. But yeah.
So you're not someone who buys a lot of games digitally then?
No.
You're like
I like to have the hard
I like to
copy.
have the actual game.
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
like to build a library.
Some things are digital exclusive. Like on the Switch, I have like a few digital games on there because like I can't bother going to buy the game, or it's only on digital.
Yeah.
That's the one time I buy digital copies.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
On my PS4, I don't have any.
Yeah.
It's the same with
Digital
books
games.
too. Like,
I'll-
you can do like ebooks is huge, right?
Yeah.
I like having an actual book.
I like hard copy stuff because one for the aspect I read better when it's hard copy,
Mm-hmm.
but under the completely same vein as games, I like to have a library of things, like a physical library.
Same.
Yeah. Whereas
Like,
you've been in my
Yeah, and
my old
I've seen your collection.
yeah, and like I have like a bookcase where it's like alphabetically sorted games. And to
Yeah.
me, like I just like the look of it.
Yeah. No, I get that. It's just like I don't know. For me, it's sort of like certain things for you, like because you buy the new NBA 2K, you buy the new WWE and the new. There's a third sports game you get. I can't remember.
Oh,
what
like
it is.
NFL.
And is it the NFL one? Is that the
I
one?
haven't bought them in a while, but I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, because I know you buy NBA every year,
NBA.
and I know you buy
by
WWE every
Yeah, I'm
year.
that guy. I'm
But
that
like,
guy.
but like, I remember there was
You're the
a third-
guy
I
who
thought
fills
there was-
up the
anyway.
EB Games pre-owned sports sales. The whole bucket
No,
is
like,
just full
I'm
of
that
old
guy,
NFL
like-
games.
No, he gets the collector's edition.
When it
That's what I'm
comes to
saying.
like games, like, and I've shot on it before, and
Yeah.
I firmly believe if I was in charge of 2K, this would be how it should be done, especially with the movement of like being able to download updates and like
Yep.
A game like every 2 years.
yeah,
Not like every year.
When it comes to sports games, they're not changing anything aesthetically drastically, right? Their big things that they do add into new games every year is like obviously new players come in,
Yep.
old players go, right? And they might
Teams
add
change
story.
sometimes.
No, but that all that shit can be done via updates.
Yeah, it's mostly
Yeah.
it's mostly database changes is kind
Yeah.
of really mostly what they do, and then they justify that by adding a new campaign of some kind.
And how that's how they
Yeah.
justify a new game every year is
Yeah.
because they just add a whole new campaign.
Yeah.
Which means like that's kind of big for an update.
Yeah.
It warrants new. It's
Yeah.
like the Super Mario Maker just came out with a second game as well.
Yeah.
The reason they justified making a second game as opposed to doing just a big update on the first one was because they added so many more mechanics.
Yeah.
Right? Mechanics is a huge one to like code in the back end.
I also don't think the first one was on the Switch.
No, it was on the
The
Wii U.
first one came out beforehand. So
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is like because they had this breadth of mechanics they wanted to add to the game as well, they just said fuck it, second game, right? Because I think the initial idea was just to add a big fuck off update, right? It was like Destiny in the sense.
Well, like they
before
would have had to
Destiny
put the
2.
money into releasing Mario Maker, the first one, on the Switch anyway.
Yeah.
So at that point, you may as
Yeah.
well just make a second one and
Exactly.
launch it with the Switch.
There's a lot of
like,
variables that go into play, but their
Yeah.
initial plan was to just be like when they first pitched Mario Maker, it was to be Mario Maker, kind of like how World of Warcraft is World of Warcraft, and you just add expansions,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and not to come up with a second game.
Yep.
But they had to do it because of like mechanics and shit, which is the same thing with like sports games. Mechanics don't change. They don't.
No.
Like they move button schemes around, but they don't change mechanics. Aside from when they move up a generation of console.
Yep.
Right? That's when they shift like, oh, we can do different things now. Other than that, it's just aesthetic changes, stat changes, or roster changes.
And even then,
a new campaign.
and even then, like the major changes don't make a big difference. Like I was playing FIFA 19 a little while ago, and like I hadn't touched a FIFA game since FIFA 12, and I was like, oh yeah, press X to kick, press A to do a low pass, press Y to do a through pass. Like it was all the same thing, and like that's like that's like almost a generation.
I mean, they have a system. Why fix it if it ain't broke?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
fair.
Absolutely. No, I'll just like for me that would make sense though for you getting the collector's edition because you get the collector's edition as well of those games, right? And for me that makes sense, like because you got a physical thing with other physical things, like that makes sense. But yeah, I don't understand having a physical library because for me it's just clutter. Like I have in my Steam collection right now, I have 560 games, right? I could not if I had a disc and like a whole case. Like let's even say a PS3 case. Like let's do a little case, right? That has just the disc and nothing else. Holy shit! I can't imagine going through 560 of those.
No, but
just to find a
Steam
game I
is
wanted to play.
different. You can't really include PC in that because that is all entirely digital copies now.
Yeah.
How often do you see
What
some?
I see what you're getting at.
I see what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that I look at it now as it's essentially art, right? So
Okay.
you have a bookcase.
Yeah.
That fits the decorum of the room.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying I build my room around like, oh, where do I put my bookcase? What I'm getting at is it supplements it. Right. So I'll have that physical copy or the physical copies that fill out a bookcase, which looks nice in a vacuum.
Yeah.
It's not in the essence of, oh, now I have too many or I don't know what to play. It becomes a point of I bought the game, now it becomes art as well, where it fills out my study space, right? The same logic that applies to like buying paintings, right? To fill out a space or to make a space feel more homely, right? That's what my bookcase is. I'll have a bookcase for books, I'll have a bookcase for games, and it just kind of like adds a layer to the style of the room. Right? It's like, oh, it gives it that geeky vibe, that man cave vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, whereas if I had I have games on Steam too, right? Like not as many as that, fucking 500.
You should totally bring out a mangerie line around sitting on the couch and playing video games, but still
There's
looking
so
good.
much potential for the mangerie. It's such a.
I'm still stuck on it because I just think it's such a good idea.
Thank you. Fuck.
We bring out the console collection.
The console collection.
You've got
The geek line of mangerie.
Yeah.
And, we just market it to kind of like we do like plus size line, right? Where it's just like neck beards on couch and it's just like them playing like this. Like, and obviously we're an audio forum, so you can't see me literally slouch in my chair with my man spreading.
Oh yeah, no,
right?
you got to man because you got to accentuate the dom.
gotta sell
no,
the
see, no,
mangerie.
no,
You
that
got
is,
man spread.
but that is one thing that I'm worried about with the mangerie.
You reckon it'll promote man spreading
No,
too much?
no, it's because when a man inevitably man spreads,
Yeah,
What do you mean inevitably man spreads?
it is kind of inevitable.
it is an inevitable
I'm doing
thing.
it right now.
Yeah,
and
I
I
do it
didn't
all the
realise I
time.
was
I'm
doing it.
actively man spread.
Yeah, no, you're a man spreader.
I'm a man spreader. If it's too lacy and the guy man spreads, it'll rip. You gotta like you gotta like
What are you talking about? There's no.
no
Because it's tight, it's gonna be
lingerie
tight
is
fitting.
tight.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So like
yeah.
lingerie is more uncomfortable than regular undies.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
females.
Yeah, you're not
So
wearing
I
it for
can
comfort.
imagine the same thing would happen with dudes if they're wearing lingerie.
What's
So
the-
you gotta also. One thing is also making sure that obviously you can accommodate for when the pee goes up.
Shit.
True, we never
He's
thought of
fucking.
that.
She's right.
It's got to be elastic in a kind of way.
It's got to accommodate an erection. Holy shit.
Shit.
Hadn't
Also
thought
the-
about
yeah.
that.
Okay. Oh, damn it. Oh, my God. I never thought of that. Why would, as men, why did we not think of that?
Or do you design the lingerie so that it looks good when you're erect, but it doesn't look good when you're not? Because
But then I feel like that's
because
No, but the thing is,
that's part of the
fucking initial seat. Like you're taking it off, not initially erect.
yeah, that's
Fuck,
true.
it's hard because.
But that means that when you do though, does that spoil the design?
Because what I'm getting at is, if we were to make the mangerie,
Bringing up the important points here.
to be erection accessible, now we got to throw in different sizes, which is fair enough. Some people are growers and not shoulders.
No.
right?
That is when the lingerie borrows from the bra fitting system
Right.
of doing like
Yeah, but you're like
no, but like in sort of terms, a dick is very similar. Like if you're like dick size will be very similar to how you do boob size in
Yeah.
a cup.
You got to have a
getting
cup
at-
size.
So like you have to accommodate for that.
Yep.
we exist with like men are weird too because there are growers and there are showers. Right, growers is initially this is going to get such into a fucking R-rated discussion. On flaccid isn't that big, but then it gets big. Whereas showers, it's like flaccid is kind of like almost there, and then it gets a little bit bigger.
Yeah, that's
right?
when you have
now
to-
You've got to accompany for that.
Yeah, that's when you got to accompany for that. The same with girls. You have to accommodate for
Do we just
girls
have a
with
growers and
small,
shoulders line?
smaller boobs who want push-ups in there to make the boobs look bigger,
Yeah.
and girls with big boobs so have the right support. So you got to have like you got to accompany for all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah, true.
Which is
100%
one thing I thought that you guys missed out on when you first brought this up.
Fuck, I can't believe
The
we
first
did.
thing
Yeah.
I thought of was like, where's the dick gonna go? Like,
Yeah.
How did we not think of erection?
Oh, like, do you
there were
do-
4 guys in that room, and not a single one of us said, "Hey, man, what about in the essence?
Yeah.
when we get an erection?"
see, the thing is, when I think of, I just think of like that would be the most obvious thing, but that's coming from my perspective.
Yeah.
If a dude comes to me and was wearing lingerie, we're like, okay,
But that's
looks good.
But that's
Where's
the
your dick
perspective.
gonna go?
With the fabric, because it's obviously rubbing up against it, pro making a boner when it's like so okay. The problem I have with cotton is that it does obviously like its friction is good enough to like if I'm wearing a kind of tighter fitted jock, like I can feel it, right? Whereas if I were to chuck on satin, I imagine it's really silky, right? So it's not enough friction in order to stimulate. is what
Yeah,
I'm getting
right.
at, right. So I'd imagine you have to find a fabric line that can offer high stimulation.
No,
Because
because
I don't-
I'm imagining the erection is the end goal. Obviously, I'm not
Yeah.
wearing mangerie if I'm not like if I'm just wearing it just to have a bit.
No,
of fun,
no. The goal
right?
of no, I think that the ultimate goal
Mangerie is
of
practical.
lingerie and lingerie is that the person who's wearing it looks really good.
Yeah.
The person who's seeing them wear it is like, damn, that's great. But then it all comes off at some stage anyway.
No, you're 100% right.
So like,
maybe we don't even allow for the. No, we have to allow. For
you
the
have to
erection.
allow for the erection
Yeah,
in some way,
absolutely
shape, or
do.
form. But as soon as that goes up, it's like
Yeah,
Yeah.
That-
It's
go time.
That gets rid of like satin, which doesn't like stretch.
satin. No, satin is you can't also get very tightly fitting because satin stretches a lot anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Does it?
yeah. So like, if a dude got an erection in a satin lingerie, the dick would just come out of the leg hole. Like that shit has like zero friction
Maybe
at
we,
all.
like,
Yeah, it has
we
zero
patent
give.
the kind of like fabric that in that area when you get an erection,
Yeah.
there's like
a bit of stretch.
a bit of stretch.
But they
Yeah.
all look like a little mini
Like-
elephant trunk, and that's really funny to me.
Yeah.
Or-
That kind of kills the sexiness. Yeah. Right, because then you're just looking at it and laughing. You think it's
Or
funny.
we it's like the episode of fucking Friends.
That being
where
said,
Michelle's
though-
like, have you ever like crotchless panties?
Crossless panties.
Maybe we should offer a crotchless line of.
Oh, you
lingerie.
absolutely do. No, but
100%.
that's the
It's
beauty of lingerie. That's the beauty of it. You can have a huge variety of.
There's
you can have a whole
crotchless women's
smorgasbord.
lingerie. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
no, but
exactly.
we got to have a crotchless line.
So you have the crotchless one, but I think you should also have like the elephant trunk one, but then you accentuate that joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like a little pocket, and then it goes out like
Yeah.
that.
And you could,
like,
oh my god! And then leading back to another discussion, what should come back in the 2020s? Fucking pajamas with the butt flap. You know what I'm talking about?
I love those. I have.
Yeah,
I
but
have
they
a set.
didn't come back?
I have a set of those, like a onesie.
they called.
Fuck off.
I went-
Do you?
Well, like it's like a weird variation of it. So like I used to have a onesie
Yep.
that sort of you put it on, but at the back you get on through the back because it's like a pair of pants.
Oh, okay.
And then it's connected at the front. But like if you go to the bathroom, you just pull the back half of it down, and it goes down to like here.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah, I
is
know
that-
what you're
is
talking
that
about.
the two-
But that's like they were really popular. So that's like the one way of around the butt flap. But I really like the butt flap.
Yeah,
I think the butt flap is
pajama needs to
amazing.
return. And I think in terms of our male lingerie, I reckon we have to have a crotch flap, right?
Yeah, you would need one.
Just
'Cause-
unbutton or unzip, and there it comes out.
Because like it's like when a dude's wearing like regular like briefs, there's a hole for that.
There is.
There
No,
is.
that
So like
that is
that's
true,
when you
yeah.
borrow also from that design, have
I
the
haven't worn one of them in a
potential.
while, actually.
You borrow from that design. So you have a style of mangerie that is designed like that,
Yeah.
but it's slightly tighter. So the dick wants to come out and say hello. It has the option without removing the whole mangerie.
I feel like at that point, see the problem with that design is they have a button there to intentionally keep the dick in. I say you get rid of the
Yeah,
button.
I was like, yeah, get rid of the button.
But, and you design it in such a way that when you do have an erection, it kind of just comes out of it like it's coming out of the curtain going, hello.
Oh my god,
Right?
yes.
So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
so that like you know when your man's ready to go because he's called curtains and he's come out from the curtain, right? He's ready to go, right? He's saying hello, right? It's all good to go. I think that's the.
If there are any
I
designers
agree.
listening to this, reach out.
I don't
because
know
want
how
this.
you design for that because like I genuinely don't know how the physics of that works, but I feel like it's got to be doable. You know what I mean?
It requires a lot
And
of field testing.
And it's got to. But here's the thing, right? It's got to still be able to hide everything when you're flaccid, right? Because it's about it's about the tease, right? You don't want to see anything until the time.
That's when you make the flap. So there's like a bit of fabric sort of here.
Yeah.
So then the flap is further across to one side.
Yeah.
Because once that dick is completely ready, it'll come out no matter what.
Yeah.
So
It'll
like
take
it's
its
kind
way
of
out.
just like make it more difficult for it to come out.
Yeah.
But in that way, that means you know that they're definitely ready.
Yeah. That's it. So yeah, it's got to be like that. Absolutely.
That is my hard effect mission statement of the decade of 2020. Is we're going to have a hard effect line of mangerie. like our logo will be on a set of briefs.
Hard effect. We make your dick look good.
Can we make me a smaller version of mangerie so I too can wear mangerie?
Would you like to wear mangerie or lingerie?
Mangerie.
You wanna wear mangerie?
Mangerie is more comfortable than lingerie anyway. I'd much rather wear like the briefs and be like, this is
God.
way more
A
comfy.
unisex line of lingerie.
I think we should. Why
Yeah.
not?
What the fuck, man? It's such a good idea.
That's what I mean. Like we could
Maybe
totally
you're
do
a
it.
genius.
Yeah. Right. And again, like, but now we've got a lot of considerations to put into mangerie because the other one that Ricky brought up was that men tend to be a bit more hairy down there than
Yeah,
women
so
do.
you don't want like something silky. 'Cause
Right.
rubs the friction there.
No, silky's fine. It's just you don't want something
Lacy?
too lacy
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because hair will catch.
But it's
And also the hair will start coming out of
Yeah,
the material, and that
exactly.
is not very
No, but
attractive.
we quelled that though because when it comes to putting on lingerie or in that
Yeah.
mode, you're genuinely tidy up.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, exactly, right.
Like, or you should be.
Yeah.
is my point.
But I think that's what we would have to preface that with our models and be like highlight the facts like them shaved. They put some effort in for a bit of manscaping.
we offer two lines. We offer one
Right.
where it's just like you're the everyday mangerie.
Yeah.
Right. The everyday line, and then it's the all right sexy time line.
right. So-
where it's
so
like,
the-
all right, we suggest that
Yeah.
because of the fabric, look after yourself a bit better. Right.
So we
Shave
have
that
the-
hair, bro.
Yeah. So we have the 45-year-old looking
Like
to
a
spice up
mangerie
his sex life.
instructional video about how each different line of it works.
Yes.
Damn straight. We should have that. We should have a whole series of YouTube video being like, so you've decided to buy mangerie. First of all, congratulations. You've taken the first and best step in this whole thing, and that is you've decided to make your dick look good. Okay? Step 2 is how to make your dick
This is
look
what
good.
goes in my
And there's a
head.
bunch of different things you need to consider. and
Number
one of those
one,
would be shaving.
shaving.
Right? That's what I mean. And then in the next video tutorial. We're going to discuss
It's
manscaping.
about building that community around the mangerie.
That's
You've got to
it.
make them feel included. Everyone who buys it is part of a family.
That's it. Any bloke who walks into Victoria's Secret should feel at home.
Secret.
In Victor's Secret should feel at home, right? They should be able to walk in
Or offer
there.
them a beer on entry.
That's it.
It's
You-
like,
yeah. you
like
walk
the
in,
main
and then,
lingerie
And then,
barbershop.
like, if I was talking to Victor's Secret and buy something, I'd be part of their community too.
Yeah, you are.
That's it, right? That's it.
Mangerie.
Yeah,
For everyone.
And you got to have, and you got to be open and honest and straightforward about it. So you walk in, you say, "G'day, mate. How you going? Here's a beer. All right. So what's going on with your junk today? Right? What are we
gotta be open
feeling?
about it.
That's
Men need
it.
to be more open
right?
about their
and
junk to
exactly.
other men.
That's what I mean. You got to be like, mate. I need something that kind of like, I'm not too fond of my balls, but I think I've got a pretty good shaft. Ah, well, I've got just the piece of clothing for you, sir. Right?
See, and I also think that the whole process behind this would be like, you know how you guys were saying that like sometimes people get really awkward buying lingerie for their female partners. Like dudes walk into bra shops and like, oh my god, what?
Oh, God.
I feel like if a girl were to walk into a lingerie store, they'd feel way more comfortable than a dude would be buying lingerie, just because of the fact that it's one thing,
Yeah,
and they
it's-
know what size
it's-
undies their man is. Like, you know that.
Yeah, dead set. But also, I mean, I feel like at that point, like, women have an established culture of buying lingerie.
Yeah.
At this point, where we'd be starting a new culture.
So that is honestly where you would do the marketing for at an initial launch.
Oh, hells yeah.
Would be women buying it for their dude.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We get that same guy. Like, the man your man's junk could look like.
Partner with Old Spice.
Yeah, that's it.
on a horse as well.
Right. We do a whole Marvel series. That's America's junk.
That's America's junk.
Have you been following the internet's big trend right now, where they're talking about number neighbors?
Yeah, I've
Yes.
seen that.
Apparently there was one
That's come back. That's
Let's come back. Yeah, it used to be a fucking thing.
It used
it was
to
a
be
thing a while
thing,
ago,
Yeah.
like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a thing then
It
on
was
the
a thing.
internet.
Yep.
Fucking the cyclical nature of the internet.
Yep.
Weird. I've been wanting to text my number neighbor.
Oh, somebody's just rediscovered it. I think is what happened.
Yeah.
Somebody saw an eight. Well, it's no surprise that it's come back after we had the whole resurgence of old memes on Reddit when somebody was like, "Hey, we're talking about old memes again." Somebody's brought back Number Neighbor. That's what that is, I reckon.
We're on a big renaissance.
History. It's got to be a hieroglyphic of some kind.
Oh my god.
Like the Egyptians surely had memes.
I mean, the ancient Romans would shitpost all the time. I mean, have you seen
Literally.
have you seen? Yes, sometimes literally. But have you seen like the graffiti in Pompeii? Like some of the
Yes.
graffiti in Pompeii, like some of it's really simple. Some of it's like Brutus is a bit of a dick, right? But one of them, and it's one of my favorite pieces of graffiti that was scrawled on the side of a building in Pompeii, and it's blonde brunettes, redheads. I don't care. I'll have them all.
I love that
Right?
so much.
That's what
so
it translates to, right? and for me,
the Romans were a funny bunch of people.
Yeah.
Oh, they were such fucking
They knew how to.
sex pests, though. Like,
Yeah, but they also knew how.
brilliant.
They also knew how to shitpost right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they perfected the formula before we even discovered it.
Yeah, like, so, I mean, at least that far back, we know that there were, like, humans were shit posting, right? On the sides. We just did it on the side of the
is
building.
your question? What was the first internet meme or
Yeah.
the first meme?
Meme. It's
Okay.
the first meme. I like that one. That's a good answer. Which actually fucking, like, it just got me thinking of, like, the art of the bathroom graffiti.
Yeah.
Like, there's a genuine, like, very rarely will you walk into a bathroom stall and you will find, like, profound poetry.
Yeah.
Right? It's always along the same vein of, want good time, here number, XX.
That
Or,
was the
like,
thing. That was the thing in
David,
ancient
like,
Rome as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
Right.
at. Like,
Somebody-
it didn't
somebody-
start in bathroom art. It
No,
started
no.
somewhere else.
That's what I mean. Like, I remember that was one of the pieces of graffiti you reminded me. Yeah, it was sort of like somebody was like, Maximus gives good head or something like that, right? And you know, and obviously that'd be like the boys that get around it and just go, oh my god, Maximus, apparently you give good head. And Maximus is like, oh, fuck off, Brutus.
I have a fun
You
meme
fucking
fact.
cheeky bastard. I know you wrote that on the fucking wall because you're the only one of us who can write.
Did you know that the term meme was coined in 1976?
Yes.
I did not know that. That's
Yes.
a really fun fact. I'm trying
By
to
fucking who and in what context? As in the context that we know, define meme.
The
So-
term meme was
define
coined
meme.
by Richard Dawkins in 1976 as a way to explain how cultural information spreads.
Yeah. So you never heard of meme theory?
No, I know meme theory, but can you define meme for me?
Yeah, so a meme is a thought that that moves through a society like a bacteria moves through a person and a group of people. So heard of things going viral? That's where that comes from as well, right?
Yeah, I know
the
that,
idea that ideas will spread through a society the same way a virus can spread through a society, right? It spreads through contact and communication.
So meme isn't necessarily the physical adaptation of it. It is the thought of it.
A meme is a thought, is what it is, yeah. And the idea is that thought can spread through people, right? And the internet just makes that spreading move at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to have person-to-person contact anymore in order for a meme to spread. It can just spread on its own.
All things memes, but
Yes.
not all memes are things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a way of looking at it.
Yeah.
I never thought that we'd get so deep into meme
It's the
theory
party part. We
today.
started with the lingerie and the mangerie, and now we're ending with a bit of philosophy.
Yep.
Right?
As
Meme theory.
every good
Yep.
band session should.
I can go to my university lecturer and be like, yeah, we talked about something serious for once, right? I didn't tell you this. So I went to, I'm doing a university subject and it's like pretty serious. Like it's like one of my last units before I graduate. And the lecturer, and she's like a real smart lady, right? She's got doctorates coming out of her ears, right? And she was asking who makes podcasts, and I put my hand down. I was like, yeah, I'll make podcasts. She's like, oh, what kind of podcasts do you make? And I was just like, oh, it's just me and my mates, and we tell bum and fart jokes for an hour. And she didn't quite hear me because it's a big room. She's like, oh, sorry, can you say that again? So then I had to say it really loud. Me and my mates make bum and fart jokes for an hour. Everybody has a laugh. She's like, oh, that's not really what I was expecting. And then she asked the next person over, and the next person over was like, oh yeah, I made a podcast once where I analyzed the business model of this thing in this country. I was like, oh shit, that's probably the answer you wanted. Like, that's just not what I do.
It's just not what I
Not what I'm about.
That's just not what I'm about.
Hey, I mean, you're lame and you've stuck to it.
That's
I feel
it,
like
right?
that's all right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I could ever see myself being like, every day, every minute, a minute passes in Africa. Like, I just couldn't do that. Like, that's just not who I am.
mean,
podcast for everyone, and that's
Yeah.
what we do. There's nothing wrong with doing bum and fart jokes.
That's what I mean. That's
Hey,
what I do.
have we made a bum or fart joke today?
We spent 20 minutes talking about dicks. Like,
That's not a bum or fart joke.
Oh, but
All
it's
right.
close to bum, though.
it's close to the butt. Well, we did. Yeah, we
I
did.
did discuss butt flaps and fucking pajamas,
Yeah.
which firmly I still believe needs to come back in the 2020s. That and bucket hats.
I love bucket hats.
Bucket hats deserve a resurgence in 2020s.
Yeah. Speaking of PJs with the butt flap, by the way, I did some research, by the way, on what that was actually called. Because I'm like, no way is that actually called a PJ with a butt flap. It's called, and depending on who you ask, it's called a flapjack long john, is what it's called, right? Apparently, that's the modern name for it. Yeah, flapjack long john, and there's a whole website that sells them, and they sell them in all kinds of patterns and stuff. I found the
But
website.
that sounds like the Flapjack and Long John's, like the adventures of Flapjack and Long John.
John.
Sounds
I
like
know.
a really bad short story.
Yeah.
I would love to make a custom one because I know long johns are like really thin pajamas that
Yeah.
you wear like kind of like underalls, like
Yeah.
like thermal wear.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would love to do a graphic print with just my face on it.
I feel like you want
Wait,
to do a
wait,
graphic of
as in
everything
like
with
your face
in it,
really
though.
large, or like
my
lots,
face
or
really
like
large.
polka dot.
Yeah, like polka dot, open polka dots.
Yeah.
And then I have a different face on the butt flap.
No, you take it to the next level is you make your face out of a bunch of photos of your face.
Oh, that's
So
on
better.
top.
fake.
Yeah, and then on the back I just have just your face.
Just my face
Yeah.
on the butt flap. That is the goal.
That's
Oh my
fucking
God.
meta.
Anyone who wants to buy me anything for my birthday, please buy me a set of them long johns.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Starting the trend. I'm bringing it back.
And I think with that we'll call it there. I want to thank you, Dave, for joining me,
Thank you.
and I want to thank JJ for joining us once again. Come
about
back
7
in.
Yeah, see, I'm back in like 7 episodes, guys. I'm
you
sure
know,
you'll be fine.
She's come back in from the cold, literally. To do this. Which oh my god, yeah. Okay, cool. If you like this episode of the podcast, please, tell a friend about it. Let them know that you're like, hey, I like this, podcast. They talk about dicks for 20 minutes. It's pretty good. You should have a listen to this. Hey, if your friend will be like, yeah, I like dicks. I'm going to listen to dicks for 20 minutes. That sounds great. And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
Cheers.
This podcast is part of the Hard Effect Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to hardeffectstudios.com.au.